Those are great questions, right? So let me see. I'll start with the most important thing. Now remember, I'm a young entrepreneur. I haven't been doing this very long, maybe 3 years. But I've already learned some lessons. I would say some are new to me, and some of them people had warned me about. So I'll give you the ones people warn you about. When you go out and raise capital, you might as well double what you think you need. That is true.
Yes.
So if you think you're going to need $5 million, you should be raising $10 million. If you think that you're going to get it done in 6 months, you should be planning for it to take 12 months.
Okay.
So that seems to be true, and I'm learning that. Most importantly, though, it's twofold answer, and I'm sorry
Yes.
I don't have a solidly prepared answer for this, but I'm thinking as I'm sitting here with you. Two things. I think one, it's being true to yourself.
Yes.
And when I say that, it's a challenge to stick to your morals and your ethics and your intuition and your gut on how you feel that something should happen.
Yes.
So when you're making decisions, I mean, there's a difference between leadership and management. When you're making a decision about your company, especially if you've been blessed with the trust of other people's resources and money or time, you're not always going to have the 100% answer in front of you. So you're going to have to make a decision based upon your character.
Yes.
And truthfully, people trust you or give you money based upon your character. And I've oftentimes heard people say they don't invest in the product, they invest in you or the team. And I think as the entrepreneur, especially if you're leading it, if it's your idea, you really have to believe it more than anyone else, because if you don't, no one else will. And the second part to that, I would say the darker part to that, is it's very, very lonely. Because when the chips fall, it's you. You've got to make the call, and you have to deal with the consequences. And as a military officer, I'm used to that, and I understand that concept, but for the civilian application of that military principle, it's a bit different. Not in a bad way, it's just different, because in the military, oftentimes there's other co-workers or colleagues or fellow officers that keep an eye on you and help you come to the proper decision. In the civilian world, I'm finding it's a lot of unilateral decision making, where there's really no one there that's quick to right your wrong or misstep or misjudgment, and so you really have to reflect upon yourself to make sure you're doing what's right and what's ethical. Recognizing that sure, you could probably get away with the wrong decision, but that doesn't make it right. And I found that oftentimes, when I say often, probably 3 or 4 times, I've had those decisions that had to be made, and I chose what I thought was the high road, and it's worked out for me. It truly has. And the concepts that you read about, like the Harvard Business Studies, of like collaborative decision making and trying to bring folks in instead of just trying to be somewhat, I don't want to say deceptive, but misleading during negotiation to make sure you get what you want, that really isn't the best way. There was actually a Hopkins negotiation class that I took where they said, ask what the other guy or gal wants, because they might only want the peel and you might only want the fruit. And you both can get 100% of the orange, just the part you want. And I've really tried to embrace that. So there's a couple jewels that I've gotten. Even Dr. Lou's class, I've been able to, I got some things to store in the back of my mind and try to use.